You've looked at the bracket. Give you a chance to look at it again. If there is one team who you think could be, the darling, we got to give our people some help here. Everyone wants to win their bracket, win their office pool. Who's the lower-seeded dark horse who you think could make a good run?
Well, I'm usually wrong on this, but I like Creighton. I know they're a 3 seed, but I don't think anybody's given them any credit at all. And I really like Creighton. I think they're a team that could go all the way through, and they could actually, where are they at? Here, show me where I've lost them.
I know, and this is so small, too. Creighton's right here. They play,
they could
go through
actually,
Baylor. Oh, you
right.
made a point in that chat with Markowski
Right.
that you thought they'll tear up Baylor.
Yeah, I think they'll, Baylor's a zone team, and you can't zone Creighton. All right? So if they, unfortunately, Louisiana Lafayette's really good. We played them, and they're pretty darn good. So they get by them, then they play Baylor. All right? I think they can beat Wisconsin. I really do. I think it'll be a light game, an offensive, methodical offense versus a methodical defense. And I really believe that Creighton can get all the way to out here and play Arizona in the Elite Eight.
So you got, for those of you who didn't read his chat with Tom Markowski on the Detroit News, or we haven't really given the Final Four here, but you have Arizona, Florida, Louisville, and Michigan State.
2 1s and 2 4s.
A lot of people are hopping on this Michigan State bandwagon. What would trip them up? What
Well,
would make it not happen for Michigan
First of all,
State?
that's the kiss of death.
Yeah, if everyone likes you.
But how often at this time of the year have you ever seen Jay Billis and Digger and Dick and all those guys all say the same thing? Because they're all trying to get, in your business,
Mm-hmm.
you want to say something that's different. So if you're right, everybody goes, "Wow, you really know what you're talking about." So they all normally say different things, and they're all saying Michigan State. Probably because here's what I like about Michigan State. They're healthy. They're fresh. They didn't go through the rigors of, the long season. Harris had missed some games. Payne missed some games. Dawson missed games. Their key elements missed games. So they didn't play 32 times and they're all beaten down.
Why did you keep your game with them close?
Because I wanted to win, and we couldn't win.
No,
I
but
didn't
I'm saying,
want to close.
how did you stay in it? How did you? It's probably more competitive than some people thought it was going to be. Is my point.
Well, what people don't remember is that Gary Harris didn't play in the game, and so they were early in the year without Gary Harris. We did a really good job of, we missed a couple wide open shots late, and our chance to beat Michigan State was right there, and we didn't get it done. We let it slip away, but it was more time of the year, and we played them 10 times. They were going to win 10 times.
Right, well, you knew this was going to come. Another question came in from Mr. Cool. We talked about them playing Michigan State next year. I think Oakland should play against Michigan one year or next year. What's the story with the game against Michigan? What's the deal there?
It's not going to happen.
Is there a history there? What's the story with that?
We played Michigan for a long time, and when John came, he told me why he didn't want to continue the series, and he was very honest with me. And I really like him, and I think we have a good relationship. He just didn't want to continue the series. Oakland was always playing Michigan and Michigan State, and he wanted to play some other schools. And he runs Michigan, I don't. So, all I can do is I thank him for his honesty and, tell me why. One more thing on Michigan State, though.
Yeah.
We got a little bit off target. Not only are they fresh, but because those guys were hurt, they had their 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th men got to play major minutes. They got to go to Ann Arbor and go through that. And, Michigan State at Ann Arbor to hear the fans. So when they get into that game, like Michigan and Kansas last year, and 2 guys are in foul trouble, and he's got to reach down and grab somebody, that person that he reached down and throws in there is going to be tested. And that is a very big positive.
There was a question that came in earlier about preparing your guys for the environment. And I think the environment's a little different. I would never say that you go to an NCAA tournament game and it's a raucous, loud, crazy crowd like you would face if you went to the Breslin Center or if you went to the Chrysler Center. So can you describe the difference between going into really difficult enemy territory versus going onto the grand stage of the NCAA tournament where it's not necessarily as loud, but it's bigger?
Well, the first round could be like Wisconsin's in Milwaukee. So it could be that way, but it's never like a home game. But the weird thing is, we're playing Pittsburgh a couple years ago in Milwaukee, and Arizona was playing Memphis, I think, after us. So the place is sold out. a quarter of it is Oakland, a quarter of it is Pittsburgh, a quarter of it is Arizona, and a quarter of it is Memphis. And Oakland gets out to an 18-13 lead, and you would have thought we were playing in the arena. Because the Memphis fans and the Arizona fans know they could beat Oakland.
Right, that's cool. I've been to a lot of these tournament games, a ton of them. And the only one that I've ever seen in person, which was so cool, is when Vermont beat Syracuse, when Syracuse had Jerry McNamara.
Right.
And it was 2 years removed from the Carmelo Anthony National Championship. Syracuse was a really good team. Right. And in my mind, it's funny, when you think about it, I thought Vermont's win over Syracuse that year, which was a great game to watch and witness, really was the key to Michigan State going to the Final Four. Because in my mind, you knew that Vermont probably wasn't going to pull off two of those upsets back-to-back.
And all those people in the arena, they know that. And they know that Vermont, they all became Vermont fans.
Right.
And that really helped. I'm telling you, when we were in Milwaukee and hearing those people going crazy for us, it just motivates you. It's awesome.
Well, I appreciate it. A good time. Hope you enjoyed the conversation. College hoops. We could talk college hoops for hours on end, and I always enjoy it with Coach Kampe. So thanks for stopping in.
Half hour's up already.
Half hour's up. I knew it would go quick.